Hello, my friends. I'm glad you're back with me on my channel. So, my professional sea journey continues. This time, I'm flying from Constanța to Istanbul to join a small dry cargo vessel that is currently under construction at shipyard in Tuzla. After a warm farewell, the flight was smooth. A few hours later, I picked up my green suitcase in Istanbul, safe and sound, and rushed off in an expensive black Mercedes toward my vessel. The road took us across the Bosphorus at night, which created a truly unforgettable atmosphere. At the shipyard gate, I was already greeted by the crew, led by the chief officer and also by a black, tail-wagging friend. The check-in process took just a few minutes, and we headed straight to the ship. The vessel turned out to be quite small, but nice and blue, with a certain charm. Since it was already night, I was immediately shown to my cabin. The cabin was extremely small, probably the smallest I've ever seen, but had everything necessary for a comfortable stay. One detail that caught my attention right away was a portrait of the Dutch Princess Máxima. Since I couldn't really see my way to the ship in the dark, I decided to film it again during the day to fully capture the atmosphere. The shipyard was called Hydrodynamic, and the vessel's name is Tulp Rotterdam. The first thing that caught my eye when I boarded the ship in daylight was the welded shut windows on the navigation bridge. It gave the impression that the vessel might still need several more months to be completed. Soon after, I finally had the chance to properly meet the crew.
Надо что-то на кровать себе наклеить, а то уже стеляшку стернул.
Ну это фактически весь экипаж сейчас, да?
There were 8 people on board, all Ukrainians, energetic, positive, and ready to work. Communication was easy and natural, and during our conversations, I learned many new things and felt very satisfied. Next, I will show you the vessel and tell you more about it.
Good morning, my friends. I'm on the motor vessel to Rotterdam, Port of Rotterdam, and today I'm planning to show you all parts of the ship.
Focusing on its design features, we'll walk along the outer decks and explore the inside as well.
My friends, our gantry crane. This is our stern.
This is our laundry.
We'll even go down to the very heart of the ship, its main engine.
На улице опять жара. Опять жара.
This is me, my friends.
Step by step, without rushing, I was getting to know the vessel and its orange-clad inhabitants. The ship was in a semi-active construction phase and was about to head out for her first sea trials. The mood was exactly as it should be, uplifting and full of anticipation. Getting to know the new crew and the new vessel had a very positive effect. Work was in full swing, both on board and ashore. At the same time, there was also some leisure organized on board. I managed to join a few of these activities, and it was a lot of fun. As a crew, we passionately supported Ukrainian boxer Alexander Usyk, visited local restaurants, and explored nearby attractions. Everything felt new, fresh, and exciting. Life on the new vessel was settling in. But I must not forget the country that hosted me and my family during my vacation between contracts in these difficult times. It was a long break, 4.5 months. I would like to express my sincere gratitude for the warm welcome and kindness from the local people. Some moments left such a strong impression on me that I kept remembering them throughout my entire next contract.
Yes. No, it's cold. All fish outside on the
But as
deck.
we know, all good things come to an end, so that new good things can begin, because life goes on.
Look at
Welcome on board the vessel with the romantic name Tulp, Rotterdam. Sit back, relax, and enjoy watching. As I already mentioned, after 4.5 months of vacation in Constanța, I received a job offer with conditions that were basically impossible to refuse. Soon after, I flew to Istanbul to join the vessel. I departed from a small airport near Constanța. The flight was smooth, and within about an hour I arrived at Istanbul airport. As a reminder, according to general airline rules, one piece of baggage should not exceed 32 kilograms, and I was fully within that limit. There were no issues with my luggage either. It arrived safely and intact. My green suitcase is quite easy to spot even from a distance. At the airport exit, a taxi driver convinced me to go with him in his luxurious black Mercedes, saying the price was fixed at around 100 euros. But in the end, it turned out to be 130 euros, which is quite expensive, although the distance was not short. The car was flying at a speed of 190 kilometers per hour, literally breathtaking. On the way, we crossed a bridge over Bosphorus, and the view was truly impressive. About an hour later, I arrived at the entrance of the shipyard. Despite the late hour, around 11 p.m., I was met there, but inside, I always had a certain feeling of anxiety before something unknown. A new crew and a new vessel. According to the ship owner, the vessel was supposed to be completed within 2 weeks and head out on her first voyage. All of this really stirred my imagination. The only thing easing the tension was a black dog walking cheerfully ahead, wagging its tail. Even at night, the vessel looked exactly how I had imagined it, but my cabin on this liner, under the Dutch flag, turned out to be surprisingly tiny. In the center of the cabin was a portrait of the Dutch Queen. On a luxurious leather sofa, a large set of brand new workwear was waiting for me, mostly in the signature Dutch orange color. The cabin itself looked like a narrow corridor with a sofa on one side and a bed on the other. I came to the conclusion that I had never seen a smaller captain's cabin in my life. But despite its size, it had everything needed for comfortable living. After leaving my belongings in the cabin, I stopped by the galley, hoping to grab something to eat. But after seeing only bottles of water and a huge CCTV monitor, I quickly went to sleep. The next morning, the most interesting and exciting moment awaited me, the meeting with the entire crew of this wonder vessel.
Ну это фактически весь экипаж сейчас, да?
To better show my arrival, I decided to film the route again during the daytime. So, the shipyard where my vessel was being built was called Hydrodynamic. Work was going on there almost around the clock, noise, smells, and constant activity. In short, life was in full swing. The name of the vessel is Tulp Rotterdam, with Rotterdam as her home port. It is a small, flat-bottomed dry cargo vessel. When I boarded, I immediately noticed that the windows on the navigation bridge were welded shut with metal plates. This clearly indicated that the vessel was not yet ready to go out to sea. The hull was painted in the signature blue color of Maersk, and the masts were folded down in a horizontal position. A more detailed introduction to the crew took place during what we call coffee time. Coffee time is a short break, about 30 minutes, when crew members drink something, relax, and even discuss work matters. After meeting everyone, I realized that the crew had strong potential and a real willingness to work and learn the vessel. Everyone was in high spirits, and we all understood that there was no time to waste. We had to apply all our knowledge and effort to complete the vessel and prepare her for the very first sea trial. I also made my own action plan. The first thing I did was go to the navigation bridge, where I canceled an alarm from one of the ballast system valves.
And we stop this.
Good morning, my friends. I'm on the motor vessel to Rotterdam, Port of Rotterdam, and today I'm planning to show you all parts of the ship.
As a reminder, the vessel was still under construction and all the bridge windows were welded shut, so it was quite dark inside. Now, a short tour of the vessel. There is a satellite communication system and even Starlink, which allows internet access almost anywhere in the world except Turkey. And unfortunately, that's exactly where the vessel currently is.
My friend, this is boatswain store. Entrance in the giant locker for cargo hold. And
It's worth noting that the vessel is built using high-quality components from what I believe are some of the best manufacturers in the world. There are no Chinese components on board.
Okay, my friends, I go upstairs from the cargo hold.
However, at that time there were still no drawings or manuals available, so it was difficult to say which design this vessel was based on. What we did know for sure was that the vessel has an ICE Class B1. The gantry crane on board is capable of lifting hatch covers weighing over 14 tons, which is very impressive for a vessel this size. We keep moving. First impressions are always the strongest and stay in memory the longest. So far, my impressions were a mix of curiosity and surprise. But we will take a much closer look at the vessel in my upcoming videos.
I am in the steering gear room. It's a nice place, and later I will show you how to work this seat in case of emergency. This oil, operational equipment to operate, this fuel. It's very close. Okay, my friends, this is main engine. This is На улице опять жара. Опять жара. Надо что-то пить холодненькое. This is me, my friends. Помашите в камеру. This is our oil and brake. Kind of to be placed or kept in the cabin. And here I am in my cabin. This is bedroom. This is my water closet. Leather sofa, TV, computer, and one thing is Queen, Dutch Queen, here with me in the cabin.
The crew turned out to be surprisingly well coordinated. Almost everyone was exactly where they needed to be, trying to contribute something meaningful to this ambitious project. At times, it even felt like a small anthill. After long working days, we would gather in the mess room to relax together. This time, the main event was a live broadcast of the fight between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury for the world heavyweight title.
Мне нос сломали 3 раза. Я дрался с поломанным носом. Это невозможно драться, все. Там дыхалки нет, там ничего
The
нет.
atmosphere was tense. Everyone was cheering for our Ukrainian boxer, Usyk. Since the entire crew was Ukrainian, it felt especially personal. Luckily, Usyk won the fight, confirmed his world champion status, and even took another belt from Fury. Our joy knew no bounds.
Все, вот это да, красота.
На камеру, пожалуйста.
Опа, ну все-таки раз
A few days later, we made a short trip ashore to explore the area. It was fun, delicious, and beautiful.
Все, все.
Все, да.
Thank you.
The local people impressed us with their kindness and hospitality.
40. Нет, не 40.
Меньше десятки не отказываюсь.
А проезжал.
Я даже отказываюсь смотреть.
The surroundings looked festive and unusually vibrant. At the end of the trip, we took a ride on a Ferris wheel and enjoyed the view from above.
Все. Everybody here. Maraba, mulțumesc.
After that, we grabbed a yellow taxi and headed back to our home, Hydrodynamic. For more details, stay tuned for my next videos. See you soon.